I'm Steve Robie. About 2.5 years ago, my grandson Calvin was born. And when that happened, my wife Jackie and I decided we were going to retire and move down to Rochester to be closer to him, my daughter, and son-in-law. We did that because we were tired of being torn between the things we said we valued and the things we actually valued with our time and our presence. I, in particular, traveled a lot for work. And so I was gone for a lot of important events. I was gone from activities at church that required volunteer presence and service that I might be able to provide because couldn't be dependent on to be there when these events happened. And so retiring and moving to Rochester seemed to put us in alignment with what God's plan for us was, that we could be in harmony with His purposes. And it has proven to be just like that. We moved to Rochester, we found Christ United Methodist Church, and as we investigated more about this church and what it does, we were quite drawn to the activities that they participate in particular. Saturday noon meals and Thrive were ministries that we thought were very important and we wanted to be a part of. Also, when I retired, we decided to set up a foundation for tax reasons. We came into a lot of money as part of my retirement, and it was going to move us up to a high tax bracket that we didn't want to be in. And talking to some advisors, they told us that the only way really out of that was to make a sizable charitable contribution. So we set up a charitable foundation and donated a whole lot of money to that foundation. And that turned out to be a very freeing experience for us because that money had to be used for charitable purposes. We couldn't spend it on anything else, anything we wanted. And all of a sudden, we had this large fund of money that we could hand out to organizations that we thought were worthy, causes that we believed in. And that was a great experience in the free giving of money. With you pay the cost up front, setting up the foundation, but then the free giving of that money was just a great experience, and still is a great experience. We haven't given it all away yet. Not all the things that we try to do for good, though, work out. One of the first ministries in this church we tried to participate in was the lay visiting ministry that goes on here, and we did the training with Nancy, and we felt prepared. But as we stepped into that and started practicing that, it really wasn't a very good fit for us. Both of us are more on the introverted side than extroverted, and it became stressful for us to plan and set up the visits, and I don't believe that's really what God wants us to feel like when we're doing His work. So I think God wants us to be in harmony with who we are and what God wants from us, and He doesn't want us to do every good thing. He wants us to do the good things that He intends for us. And so for us, things like the Saturday noon meals have worked out extremely well because I love to cook. And I love the challenge of trying to figure out how to cook for so many people in such a short period of time. And we have fun down there and we talk to people that way while we're doing something rather than just chatting with people with small talk. And for us, that's a much more comfortable kind of ministry. And Jackie, of course, is gifted musically, and it's a pleasure for me to watch her perform and to listen to her and to hear her practice is a great thing for both of us. And so a couple of those ministries have turned out to be perfect fits, but not every good thing that this church does is a good fit for us or for me, for you. So I just hope that everybody out there can find those things in the variety of the catalog of all the good things that this church is doing. Find those things that you can be a part of. And I wish you well.